Type 1 diabetes and burnout. Have you ever experienced those moments that you just do not want to deal with your diabetes at all? You don't want to deal with your sugar levels. You just want to eat whatever you want and just like whatever happens, happens. And you're just overwhelmed because you just can't get a grip of your sugar levels. It's constantly roller coasters and you just have enough. You're like, I don't care. Whatever. And then all of a sudden you start feeling not good. And then you start experiencing these awful thoughts, and then maybe you start experiencing some burnout, and then that leads to you not managing type 1 diabetes like you should be. Now, this video, I'm going to address exactly that problem. So stick to the whole video, watch this. I'm going to give you my secrets as a type 1 diabetic, how I deal with diabetes and burnout. How do I avoid it? How do I keep that mindset in a healthy place? Because it's something that's not talked about. I want to give you a little bit of background about myself. I wasn't always type 1 diabetic here. I was diagnosed in my early 20s, and for me it was a big life-changing experience. I lived my whole life without having to worry about finger pricks, without having to worry about injecting myself with insulin, and I never experienced so much overwhelmment, so much loneliness, so much being misunderstood when I got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. It was the constant, I have to take care of myself, my sugar levels are not okay, highs and then lows, and then followed with like anxiety and panic attacks and depression. I would be constantly fearing of diabetes complications. I would have no motivation. It was like I would experience something that I never experienced before, and that was what they call diabetes and diabetic burnout. That's what they call it. And I was experiencing just really bad depression in a way, where I didn't want to deal with anything. I wanted to isolate myself from everybody. I didn't want to, at the time I was working in an AV company, I didn't want to go to work. I was depressed. My mind was just like in complete shock. How could this happen to me? And it was hard for me to accept it. And all those negative emotions that I had towards my diabetes, and I'm going to get real transparent here because I want to make sure that this video gives you value. And I feel like the only way I could do that is to talk about my actual struggles that I was dealing with. It was tough for me, and no one really understood what was going on. I had my family that was surrounding me. They loved me. They gave me hugs. They said, we're here for you. But I just felt so alone. And it was the reason why I felt this constant burnout, this constant depression, this constant like I'm being like diabetes had its shackles over me, was because I had no control over my sugar levels. My sugar levels were just uncontrollable. It was just like a roller coaster, and like that was what was causing me the burnout. Is no matter what I did, no matter how good I tried, no matter what I did, I couldn't control my sugar levels. And to me, it was like, okay, what's the point of me even trying at this point if whatever I do, my sugar levels are not going to be okay? And that's what was really triggering all this burnout. It was me trying, and I'll do good for a day, and then all of a sudden something will go wrong, which I couldn't explain, and then it would be like my sugar levels are all over the place, and then I would like give up, and then I would try again, and then the same thing would happen, and I couldn't gain any consistency, and it was triggering a lot of mental issues that I was having with myself. Again, I was experiencing panic attacks because when I inject insulin, I didn't know if I was going to go low, and all these horrible things. And I knew something in my life. I knew something had to change because I couldn't continue living this way. It's my doctors kind of just told me, oh yeah, do the best you can. It's trial and error. And when I would go to them and ask them for help, they couldn't really give me solid answers. And I knew something. I said, I can't live like this. I know I'm a type 1 diabetic now. I know I'm insulin dependent, but there has to be a way for me to not feel like I have no sort of stability, no sort of consistency, no sort of control. And that's what kind of embarked me into this journey of trying to figure it out on my own. And luckily, the type 1 diabetes community, which I got really involved with and started asking a ton of questions to other diabetics that were living with experience, I was getting actual answers, not just some generic answers by my doctor. So when I started gaining more control, when I started understanding more what I needed to do to manage it, when I started really understanding the fundamentals of nutrition, when I started really understanding why certain carbs spike me more than others, when I started understanding how to inject myself with insulin properly, how to exercise safely as a diabetic, how to go out and enjoy myself, when I learned how to be confident in the way I manage type 1 diabetes, that's when the burnout disappeared. Now, this didn't happen overnight. This happened throughout time, But I'll tell you what, one thing that changed, it was my mindset that one day I said, enough is enough. I'm not gonna tolerate living a life like this where it's constant back and forth of like doing good and then stopping. And then I said, whatever I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna make a promise that I'm gonna try my best every single day, and whatever happens, but I'm gonna seek to improve my health, the way I manage this disease every single day. And that mindset shift, it helped a lot with the burnout, because there was no more burning out. I said that I'm gonna try my best, I'm gonna do whatever I can. Now that kind of opened myself to other people's opinion, that helped me go and look for actual answers that were helpful, that helped me go and interact with other type 1 diabetics. And for me, the burnout really stopped when I started improving. It was like I was getting these results, and just to give you a quick like little background of how fast I was getting results and how good I was getting results. My A1Cs went from 11.7 at diagnosis, and then it dropped down to all the way to 5.1 in probably like 6 months after being diagnosed, and I was able to maintain that for a long period of time. But I was experiencing this burnout in the beginning because I didn't know what I needed to do. It was the lack of clarity that was developing that burnout. When I learned that, okay, I need to do this daily, I need to do this and that to make sure that my sugar levels are going to be in range. I know if I eat this, it's going to be good. If I do this, it's not going to be good. When I started gaining this clarity over my diabetes, over myself, over my body, over the way I manage this, that's when the burnout kind of disappeared, because I took back the control. I stopped. I said to myself, I'm the one here who's going to hold the cards. It's not going to be my doctor. It's not going to be whoever says, this is going to happen. No, I'm going to figure it out on my own. And it was that mindset shift of me taking action to improve the way I manage my diabetes. And that's what really stopped the burnout. Now, this is something that is not talked a lot about in this community, in the type 1 diabetes community. And I wanted to get it out there. It's very important that we just don't take care of our bodies, but we also take care of our mind. Our mind can sometimes play horrible tricks on us. Our mind can really cause really negative thoughts, and then those negative thoughts lead to negative negative actions of you not taking care of yourself. Those negative emotions lead to you feeling not good, not wanting to move forward. And that's why mental health is such an important thing. It's important to take care of yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually. It's very important. You have a purpose in this world. You have a reason that you're here, and it's your job to kind of go through the journey of life and figure it out. But don't let type 1 diabetes stop you from getting there, and don't let your mind hold you captive. Burnout, it comes from a mental standpoint. Burnout happens when you have no hope, no faith. And I want to tell you that you do have a way to live with this disease where it doesn't have to hold you back from doing the things that you want to do. I know it sucks, but we can still live a good life, a good, long, healthy life as type 1 diabetics, especially with all the technology and all the resources that we have available to us. And if you are someone that is struggling with type 1 diabetes and you say, I don't know what to do, I just need an extra hand, I need support, I need someone to walk me through of how to improve the way I manage my diabetes, I want you to click on the link below. You're going to click on the link. It's going to take you to my website, and in there you're going to just watch the free video and then apply for a free strategy session where you get a one-on-one strategy session with me. I'm going to go through the application, ask you a bunch of questions to see exactly how I can help you. And yeah, I look forward to speaking with you. And remember, do not give up. This disease doesn't have to stop us from anything. And I look forward to this awesome journey as a type 1 diabetic, and I hope you do as well. It's a lot of up and downs, but hey, we're living life in hard mode.